In this video, we're going to learn a simple and practical method to model a custom name keychain tag fully ready for 3D printing. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to create your own personalized keychains using any name or text you like. Welcome to the FreeCAD for 3D printing series. This is project 5 of 40. This tutorial was requested by one of my supporters on Ko-fi. So before we begin, a big thank you for your support. It helps me continue creating more useful and detailed tutorials like this. As always, we'll break down the entire model into simple, easy to follow steps. To make it even easier for you to follow along, I've also prepared a detailed step-by-step PDF guide for this project. I've also included the FreeCAD project file along with a collection of ready-to-use font files. These fonts can be used for both personal and commercial projects. You can download all these resources from the Ko-fi link provided in the video description below. All right, then let's get started. Now let's begin with step 1. This keychain tag consists of 2 layers. Using the same method, you can create any number of layers depending on your design. But in this video, we will focus on creating 2 layers for simplicity. In this first step, we will create a sketch in the shape of our desired text. This means the text itself will act as the base shape for our model. Now, in FreeCAD, there is no single workbench that allows us to do all these operations directly for this type of model. So in this tutorial, we will be using multiple workbenches, and we will switch between them as needed. To begin creating the custom text as a shape, we need to switch to the Draft workbench. Click on the Workbench drop-down menu and select Draft. Now we are inside the Draft workbench. This is our current working plane, and we will create the text shape here. To type the custom name as a shape, go to the main menu, select Drafting, and then choose Shape from Text. Alternatively, you can use the Shape from Text tool from the toolbar. Once you select this tool, the shape string window will open. Here, you can customize different properties of the text, such as the font style and the letter height. Now let's change the font. Click on the 3-dot button next to the font file field. Then select any font you like. For this tutorial, I will use a cursive style font. You are free to choose any font depending on your design preference. I have also included a collection of fonts for this project. These fonts are completely free and can be used for both personal and commercial purposes. Now, in the text field, enter your desired text. I will use the name Michael. Now adjust the text height. I will set it to 20 millimeters. Next, you can set the X, Y, and Z positions to 0, or you can leave them as default. Click OK. The text shape is now created successfully, and this completes step 1. Now let's move on to step 2. In this step, we will convert the text shape into a 3D solid by extruding it just like any regular shape. And to do this, we need to switch from the Draft workbench to the Part workbench. Make sure you select Part workbench and not Part design workbench. Now, to extrude the text, select the text shape from the model tree, then go to the main menu, click on Part, and select Extrude. Alternatively, you can directly click the Extrude icon from the toolbar. The extrusion window opens. Look for the length along parameter. Set the extrusion length to 2 millimeters or any value based on your design preference, then click OK. The text has been successfully extruded into a 3D shape. However, there is one important thing to notice here. Even though the letters appear connected, especially when using a cursive font, they are still treated as separate elements, and you may see redundant internal edges. To fix this, we need to combine all these parts into a single solid. Select the extrusion from the model tree, then go to Part, navigate to Boolean operations, and select Union, or simply click the Union icon from the toolbar. Now all the connected characters are merged into a single part. In some cases, small elements like the dot on the letter I may still remain separate. This is normal and not an issue. Also, If you are using a non-cursive font where letters are not connected, don't worry, the process will still work the same way. And with that, step 2 is complete. Now let's move on to step 3. In this step, we will create the second layer of the keychain. This layer will be an expanded offset of the original text shape. However, we cannot directly apply an offset to the existing 3D text. So first, we need to extract a usable 2D shape from it. Begin by rotating the view so that the backside of the extruded text is clearly visible. You can do this by holding the middle mouse button and dragging, or you can use the view cube for rotation. Now hold the Control key and select all the back faces of the text. Once selected, switch to the draft workbench from the part workbench. Then go to the main menu, click on drafting, and choose face binder, or you can click the face binder icon directly from the toolbar. A new face binder object will now appear in the model tree. Now, we will reorient the view to isometric by rotating the view cube to view the 3D shape clearly. To see it clearly, hide the original extrusion by clicking the eye icon next to it. Now you will see a clean 2D version of the text shape. Next, we will expand the shape using an offset. To do this, switch back to the part workbench. Select the face binder object, then go to part in the main menu and choose 2D offset, or use the 2D offset icon from the toolbar. In the offset settings, set the offset distance to 1 millimeter. Keep the mode as pipe and the join type as arc. You will see a preview of the expanded shape. If you are satisfied, click OK. Now the offset shape is created. To make it easier to see, hide the original face binder layer by turning off its visibility. You can now clearly see the second layer outline of the text. Next, we will convert this into a 3D shape. Select the offset object and apply the extrude operation. Set the extrusion length to 2 millimeters or any value based on your design. Then click OK. Now the second layer is created as a 3D object. Just like before, you may notice unwanted internal edges between the characters. To fix this, apply a union operation to combine everything into a single solid. Now the entire second layer is one clean part. Finally, turn the visibility of the first layer back on. You will now see both layers perfectly aligned, one on top of the other. And with that, step 3 is complete. Now let's move on to the next step. In this step, we will add a loop to attach the keychain ring. You can place this loop anywhere on the model, depending on your design. In this example, I will place it on the extreme left edge. To make the process clearer, first hide the first layer. This step is optional, but it makes it easier to work on the second layer. Now select the top surface of the second layer and click on the Create New Sketch icon. The sketch attachment window will appear. From the drop-down menu, select Plane Face and click OK. Now we are inside the Sketcher workbench. Activate the Circle tool from the toolbar. Click near the edge of the model to define the center, then drag outward and set the diameter to 6 millimeters. Now, using the same center point, draw another circle inside the first one. Set this inner circle diameter to 3 millimeters. This creates a concentric ring shape. At this stage, the sizes are constrained, but the position is not fixed. So we will manually move the loop by dragging it into position, place the loop so that it slightly overlaps the main body. The more overlap it has, the stronger the connection will be after printing. The ideal position may vary depending on the first letter of your text. Once you are satisfied with the position, close the sketch. Now we are back in the part workbench. Select the sketch from the model tree and apply the extrude operation. Set the extrusion length to 2 millimeters, which matches the thickness of the second layer, then click OK. If the extrusion goes in the wrong direction, select the extrusion from the model tree and enable the reverse option in the Data tab. Now, the ring loop and the second layer are perfectly aligned, but they are still separate parts divided by redundant edges. To combine them, hold the Control key and select both the ring loop and the second layer. Then apply the union operation. Now both parts are fused into a single solid. These operations are non-destructive, which means you can still modify later if needed. For example, to modify the loop, turn the first layer back on. First, expand the fusion object. Then expand the extrusion, locate the sketch, right-click, and choose Edit Sketch. Now simply drag the center point to reposition the loop as needed. Then close the sketch. And with that, step 4 is complete. Now we have completed the modeling part. The keychain is almost ready. In this final step, we will learn how to export this model for MultiColor 3D printing. At the moment, the two layers are still separate parts. We need to combine them in a way that keeps their individual identities so that we can assign different colors later in the slicer. To do this, hold the Control key and select both fusion layers from the model tree. Then apply the compound operation. For this, go to Part, then Compound, and select Compound Operation, or you can directly click the compound icon from the toolbar. Now both layers are grouped into a single compound object, while still remaining as separate internal parts. Next, select the compound object from the model tree, go to File, then click on Export. In the file format, choose 3MF and save the file. Now open your 3D printing slicer software. In this example, I am using Bambu Studio. Import the exported 3MF file. Now we need to assign different filament colors to the top and bottom layers of the model. The exact steps may vary slightly depending on the slicer you are using, but the overall process remains very similar in most slicer software. First, in the process modes, switch to object mode instead of global mode. Then select the object 1 under plate 1, right-click, go to Split, and choose Split to Parts. Make sure you select Split to Parts and not Split to Objects, or you can directly select the model in the preview area, right-click on it, go to Split, and then choose Split to Parts. Now you will see that the model is divided into multiple parts. Typically, you will see the bottom layer, the top layer, and small elements like the dot on the letter I. If you used a non-cursive font, you may see more parts because the letters are not connected. Now select all the bottom parts. If there are multiple parts, hold the Control key and select them all. Right-click, choose Change Filament, and assign your desired color. Repeat the same process for the top parts. Select them, right-click, and assign a different filament color. Now the colors are assigned successfully. The same method works even if your design has multiple layers. Now slice the model. And start the print. One important note, if we had used a union operation instead of compound, the model would be exported as a single solid. In that case, the slicer would not be able to separate the layers. And with that, we have successfully modeled and prepared a custom name keychain tag for multicolor 3D printing. If you'd like to support my work and help me continue creating high-quality tutorials like this, consider buying me a coffee on Ko-fi. Your support, no matter how small, helps me dedicate more time to creating detailed, beginner-friendly content for this community. You'll find the Ko-fi link in the video description below. If you found this tutorial helpful, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming lessons. Thank you for following along, and happy 3D printing.